Welcome back, Red Sox Nation. It's opening day, the wait is over, and your Boston Red Sox are ready to make a run at another title. This is Red Sox Rap 360.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Panda. MV Panda.
Sox are back, baby. Panda's back.
Panda's back. He's not busting belts anymore. It's gonna be a great season in the fence. Woo.
What's your excitement level at?
Pretty crazy. I gotta tell you, it's slightly subdued on a couple fronts. Okay, I'm really kind of crazed in March with college basketball.
Fair enough.
You know,
Fair
and
enough.
then that merges into April, and I'm excited about opening day. A little less so because of opening with Interleague.
Odd.
It's very
weird,
odd,
yeah.
and really just kind of takes a little of the gusto out.
Yeah, it's
for
a little
me.
strange, you know.
And you know, usually I can kind of like ease into the season because the Sox usually open on the road because it's too cold in Boston or whatever,
Right,
you know.
right.
And then, and you know, so you get like a week of baseball, and then the home opener comes,
Right.
And then you fight up, and then you get the next Monday you got Patriots
Right.
Day, boom, and you fight up. So then I get into it, but also it's like, you know, NBA and NHL time right now, and the
a lot going on.
the bees
There's a
are
lot
fighting
going
for their
on.
playoff lives right now. Are they going to choke for the third straight year in a row in the last week? That remains to be seen.
Panda.
Do you need a quick non-Red Sox purge for you need a Patriots purge or anything? We can
Patriots
get right
purge?
into-
No, I'm good.
Okay,
I'm good.
Okay.
It's Red Sox Rap 360.
You're damn right it is, and I'll tell you what, we're excited about getting the best pitcher on the market in one Mr. Chris Sale.
It's big doings.
Dealer Dave does not disappoint. He knew he was going to get rid of some prospects, bring in some studs. He did it.
He's done just that. I mean, he's bought and sold at quite a clip, but you got to feel good about the outlook heading into the season. Aside from this little bit of an injury bug going around,
Oh.
it's got you a little.
Let's put a button in
Concerned.
the injury bug. Let's try and keep it on the
Get
positive
excited,
note.
Chris Sale. You got to be excited about that.
Gotta be
we got
excited.
some big names and some big arms at the top of the rotation. Nothing to shake something at.
And you know, I mean, years past, it's like I've been gun shy with, you know, the Lou Gorman trades, you know, Jeff Bagwell for Larry Anderson, stuff like that.
Right,
I
right.
mean, I think those are more like deals that are done at the deadline. You can get really fleeced in.
Yeah.
But, you know, this being an off-season deal and something they thought out, and you look at the roster, it's like you got these young kids kind of gelling at the right time.
Oh, yeah.
It's like there is a window here to be World Series contenders here
sure.
for the next, you know, 5-7 years when you put together this
No big
top
deal.
of the rotation, you know. And I hope Sale, especially because of the, you know, injury to Price, can hit the ground running, you know, because
Yes.
like Porcello 2 years ago and Price last year, there was a little bit of an acclimating,
Right,
you know,
right.
period to the city, or, you know, just having to play for, you know, a team where the fans are very knowledgeable and,
Right.
you know, just in your shit 24/7, you know. So
all day, every day.
all day. But I mean, so I'm stoked. So I'm hoping he seems like the type of bulldog that he's just laser focused on
I mean,
the
the dude's
job at
intense.
hand, and like, okay, I'm gonna let Dave Price do the PR.
Right.
You know, Ricky P, I know you're a guy that kind of likes to stay in the shadows. You're next up.
Fair enough.
You know, and just be quiet. I mean, the flip side of it is we give up, you know, one of the top prospects in baseball, young Moncada, and, you know, Kopech, who throws 105 miles an hour. The other guy, Basabe, who was kind of pretty good, I read about, and then the other guy I don't know too much
Feels
about.
like we may have dealt a couple potential PED busts down the line, and we got those. We got those off the hook. You know what I mean? There's like
Wow.
a couple 40-game suspensions. We'll let the
right.
you know, the White Sox handle those.
I mean, it's a lot easier to get. It's a lot easier to get behind it, you know. Now that we saw Moncada up at the end of last year, not hitting any
Right.
breaking pitches, you know.
Absolutely.
So-
I think the other thing is, I mean, it's always tough. You want to keep these kids and watch them develop. It's a natural thing, you know. You want to see these little birds fly one day.
From a seedling.
Yes, but that said, I mean,
bird?
you hit on it. We have such a healthy balance right now of young studs and some wily veterans, and I feel like it's we got all the right things, and if health proves to be a good thing, then we definitely can make some noise this year. They got all the pieces.
Faux show. Gangs, thanks for dropping in on us for our first show of the year for the Red Sox season. Obviously, Denny Harris. I'm Mike Conley. Denny, why don't you tell the people how they can get in touch with you and whatnot?
Sure thing. Yeah, I'm on Twitter still at Deehaas, Deehaas. And Mike, I heard there's a rumor you're on Twitter now. Is that
That's only a rumor. Only a rumor. It is. But
one of these days?
one of these days, this will actually, down here in the lower third, will actually connect to me.
A little at
We're
Mike
not,
Conley,
we're not
maybe.
there just yet. But, yeah, hit up D-Haas. You want to, I mean, this is our weekly relative discussion on all things Red Sox. You want to steer that discussion in a different direction, hit up D-Haas on his Twitter. You can hit us up in the YouTube chat room if you're following with us live. If not, listening during the week and stuff, hit us up, in the YouTube comments or in the AfterBuzz comments and stuff like that.
Yes, sir.
And let us know what you're excited about this Red Sox season. We are stoked. So, all right, you got into the injury bug. Well, guy I want to start with, you might think it's David Price, but kind of staying on the theme of the offseason transactions.
Sure thing.
Another guy I was excited about bringing into the fold was one Mr. Tyler Thornburg.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, we got rid of, kind of a show favorite here in the mayor Ding Dong City for that guy.
Yes, he is your boy, Travis Shaw.
And there's another guy in that deal, Mauricio Dubron, who's been a little bit of a spring hero for us the last couple of years, and I almost hate to see him go. But I love Thornburg. I'm excited. The guy was like 12 Ks per 9 last year.
Right.
Type of guy we need to bring in.
It seems like not just last year, but in recent years, we've had a tough bit of luck when it comes to bringing in, top tier relievers, and then they get injured before the season begins. That's been a streak going back. I don't know if it's been every single year, but I can think of 5 or 6 guys off the top of my head where that's happened.
Let me have him.
Negative.
Well, I mean,
Never call a man's bluff when you're thinking. Last season it happened.
Carson
right?
Smith.
Yes.
Yep.
What's his knuckle? I don't know. Don't call me out on 5 or 6. I can think of 2.
We'll
2,
go with
3.
1.
One.
Okay, good job.
Who was playing at home?
So this is very much like a Carson Smith scenario. You're excited about him being the 8th inning guy to get the Kimbrel and stuff last season, and then this season we're thinking about Thornburg bringing that guy. Boom, no dice.
Right.
He's injured. So there's another 12K per 9 inning guy from last season who was a free agent there that the Red Sox didn't decide to sign, and he signed for a very modest 1-year, $6 million deal. Can you tell me who that is?
Is it Ziegler?
No, it is Koji Uehara, our
Koji,
old
man.
friend.
Yeah,
going into year 42.
The age factor obviously is a thing, but you hate to see that guy gone.
I mean, I know there's been durability issues and stuff, but when he's in there, the guy's effective. I mean, just keep him to about 50 innings, 55 innings.
Right.
He can't be that workhorse for you.
It's the modern day way.
He can be that kind of like in emergency break glass, and like in a situation like this, he can be a backup closer or your backup setup guy. I mean, the guy's still pretty filthy, and it's and what I mean. To free up a roster spot for like Ben Taylor, we couldn't use Koji Uehara on a 1-year deal.
Yeah.
I mean, just to smooth it over. I mean, now we're like banking on guys like Joe Kelly and Matt Barnes, dudes with retreads. We've seen what they've done. Now they're going to have to develop, especially with the injuries now. Maybe down the line, Thornburg and Smith can come back and be something, but until then, Joe Kelly and Matt Barnes is like
we're counting on them.
We are counting on them.
It's not necessarily where you want it to be.
Whew.
Not necessarily where you want it to be.
It was that little security blanket of having, Koji back there. And now Tazawa's gone too.
Taz is a guy, as I often harp on the fact that I feel like he's been undervalued throughout his Sox tenure, and I hate to see that guy go. He was always a steady had some moments of inconsistency, but pretty steady guy overall.
Undervalued and overused. So he has like
Definitely.
A lot of mileage, So
Absolutely.
I would have been fine with seeing that go, but I mean, Koji catches lightning in a bottle for a 6 to 8 week stretch where nobody can touch him.
Right.
And, during the season. And then even when he's not hot, he's not that bad, you know. But anyways, wow. Obviously Theo was like, yeah, no problem, pluck. Because he's got some question marks over there. Bringing in Wade Davis, that ain't the Wade Davis from a few years ago. But Anyways, so Thornburg injury bug, obviously David Price. So now it's looking like he's going to be back May at the earliest.
Yeah, I mean, that stuff has to worry you. I don't know if I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but I start to think the worst with him. Obviously, that's natural based on the initial reports that were coming in on whether it was going to be surgery, etc. But I start thinking, Carl Crawford scenarios with this guy where, it's just the huge contract, underperforming, injuries. I mean,
keep your phone on, Dodgers. Yeah, I mean, what about that? Like the first time something came up and they went and checked him out, and they said something like, "You have an extraordinary elbow," or something like that.
Yeah, that
he had
was
some
weird too,
type
right?
of magic elbow where he wouldn't have to need the surgery or something.
Yeah.
And then it's like that's kind of dissipated a little bit, the magic elbow talk.
Funny how that works.
And so now, I think he can wait a little bit longer, just because of the fact if we lose him, we're going to lose him,
right?
For a whole year. So it's like, do I care if he's back in mid?
Fair enough.
Because I hope he can come back. I kind of like the idea. It's such a long season of getting those bolsters to the lineup,
right,
to the rotation. At various points of the season. I just kind of enjoy that part of it. But
like you wanted to miss a month now or do it down the road, kind of thing.
It's like Celtics required at the deadline. Oh, but they added Avery Bradley. What's up? Oh, cross sport references.
One.
Hello. I'm excited. Anyways,
big win.
Go Celtics. Go Celtics. So just put in the kid's gloves. And then if it turns out he's going to need surgery, pull the cord.
Right.
By June 1st.
Right.
So then we can get him hopefully back by the All-Star break the following year.
Fair enough.
It could be something. But
one of last season's big moves, Pomerantz. You're worrying about him now too. I mean,
and what is going on with the Padres? They're just allowed to trade damaged goods to people.
I don't know what's happening.
And they got one rip. They had to send somebody back to Florida because they tried to fleece them.
Yeah.
They offered the Sox to go back at the end of last year, but we just needed Pomerantz so much that we were like, whatever, But in hindsight, I wouldn't mind having Anderson Espinosa.
Yeah, what's the outlook on Espinosa these days?
I don't know if he's gonna be up with San Diego this year.
I don't know if he'll be making any appearances,
but I'm trying to forget that we ever had him.
So is Dumbo.
so is
Dumbo.
Yeah. But I mean, somebody just get the Padres in line. I mean, fines or rip some draft picks. I don't know, but I mean this is bad ball.
I mean, apparently Pomerantz may make his first start. Right, that's the outlook right now. He's on the 10-day DL, and the way it lines up, he may end up
exactly. Yeah, because they put him in with a few days going in spring training. That nice 10-day DL, you're going to see a lot of those.
Yeah.
A lot of those, shoulder impingement type things come up. Is that what he's got?
Another impingement.
Somebody's got an impingement.
I think he's like a forearm dealio.
Isn't it? Is Thornburg the impingement? Yeah. I think you're right. And also when Thornburg went down, there's all this talk of
the shoulder program.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a weird story there. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like when we signed him, they sent him. Did you hear that? It's such a weird story. Yeah. They emailed him. I mean, this is like a Major League Baseball organization.
Yeah.
They emailed the guy the training program.
Okay.
And he apparently misinterpreted that he should be doing all these exercises, but not necessarily in one day. But he was supposed to be doing them every day, dude. It's some junior high stuff. You'd think maybe they'd give him a jingle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like Major League Baseball.
Isn't there a strength and conditioning coach making $6 figures a year?
It's like,
that can, hey,
right,
just
guys,
wanted to check up on my email.
I sent him the PDF. He's good. It's like, what? It's
I mean, what is that? NCAA regs where you can only talk to him a certain time? There probably is.
It's strange.
It's strange. Union, but I mean, jeez.
But so apparently that was the whole thing, and he came in, and then when he realized that.
Wow.
Yeah, he basically, that was the deal, right? Before he started throwing with them, they were like, "Oh no, dude, we do this every day."
Wow.
So then he's got the old dead arm. I don't know.
Don't ask Tyler Thornburg to babysit your kids there. Anybody else?
I'm supposed to walk. So yeah, I mean, that story to me is ridiculous on both accounts.
Yeah. I mean, so if that isn't the case, and they're trying to cover up something. What are they trying to cover up? The fact our shoulder program hurts shoulders. I mean, I'm not an expert on shoulder programs, But that seems like the number one thing is you want to develop healthy shoulders.
Yes.
And not
It's a fair
impinge shoulders.
You do not want to
That's the number
impinge
one thing up there.
Just a strange. That's some bush league stuff, though. You email the guy. I don't know.
Talking
I
some
would
bush
think there's
league stuff, man. That's
He's
bush
a bush
league.
league man. Seems strange to me. Seems very odd.
Yeah.
Anyhow, but so we came in strong with the Panda song. I don't know, man. It might be time to talk about the man, the myth.
Another guy I'm trying to forget about. I'm optimistic. You know,
Yeah.
I don't think it's unheard of that we can get 20 bombs out of the guy and have a 350 on base percentage. That's what we need, and not an astronomical amount of errors. Okay,
Right.
like keep it under 15 errors, and we can stomach it.
Fair enough.
Okay,
Setting the bar nice and comfortably low.
very low.
Yes.
But I mean, I think those are attainable, and that should be what is the Bazaar set in his contract.
Yes.
That it should be more performance based. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how sports are in like 20 years, because this new generation, they're all about playing on the computer. So esports is going to be off the chain, and they're going to be making like eight-figure salaries.
You think so?
And yeah, and then there's going to be like I came around probably like 30 years too early, because I might be like good enough in the old broken down league. Like maybe they're broadcasting on cable access. It's
There you
like,
go.
oh, the highest paid player in the league, $75,000 a year.
Making the big bucks.
Still draining it from deep.
If he's in the building, he's in range.
So the Panda, I'm just trying to forget about him over there. I figure, hey, you were once a pretty good player. Try and be that again.
Yes. We'll see.
I'm excited, obviously, about the outfield.
How can you not be?
The Killer Bees.
How can you not
We
be?
got some number changes going on there. Jackie Bradley's going to be wearing 19 this year. Benintendi 16.
Benintendi, I saw today, 10th left fielder in 10 years on opening day. If should he be the left fielder?
Yeah, he will be.
10 left fielders in 10 years.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty surprising, actually.
Well, lock it down for the next 10.
Yeah, let's
it's
hope
going to
so.
be that Paisano out there. Hey, buddy.
How can you not be excited, though? I mean, the young talent is deep, and it's high end, and it's exciting.
Yes.
It is exciting. Just studs in the rotation, studs scattered throughout, just potent lineup. These boys are going to make some noise, Michael.
I'm looking for Erod to really emerge here in this early season, because we really need him to. With the suspect, of Pomerantz's health, Price we know is going to be out there.
Yeah.
The Red Sox, smart acquisition, bringing in some, major league pitching depth, because you didn't really want that first line of depth being into those retread lefties we've been having in AAA the last couple of years. The Brian Johnsons, the Henry Owens, the Eliashes of the world, who I think just got put on the 10-day deal.
Yeah.
But bringing in Kyle Kendrick.
Yeah, and he's looked good.
A guy that, kind of remember coming up with the Phils as a real youngster in like pennant races. I think he started a postseason game, was like rookie year. And, looking good early on.
Yeah.
But it's kind of fallen off. But had a great spring. And so he could be in that rotation sooner rather than later. The thing with him is
Looks like it.
He's got a June 15th opt-out, which is interesting. I don't know if I've ever seen that before.
Yeah.
I'm sure it exists, but like a mid-season opt-out.
Yeah, it could be.
It's pretty amazing, because it's like he comes up and has a few good starts, and then he's like, "Hey, peace out, guys.
Deuces.
Thanks. Thanks. Great half season."
Deuces.
Yeah,
That's a little strange.
yeah. So I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's such an enjoyable time the first 2 months of the season. Then he wants to ink up for the rest of the year. I mean, he's on the wrong side of 30, so he's got to be looking for chances to win, and the Red Sox definitely have that.
They do indeed, my friend. They do indeed.
The sparkling finalysis, as usual, here on Sunday nights from one Mr. Denny Harris. We'll be
They
here
do
on Sunday nights for
indeed.
all season, gang, at roughly 10 past 10 Eastern time. Check us out there. We'll probably be going later on days where the Sox play the late game on ESPN, but we'll keep you posted on that stuff. What who is exciting you this year? You can't say Mookie Betts because he's exciting everybody, but who is going to go above and beyond expectations this year?
I mean, the expectations are pretty high, so that's a tough question.
It is. It is.
I'm in the Panda camp right now as far as maybe comeback player of the year kind of noise.
Okay.
It's total optimism. I'll probably sing a different tune next week.
I like it.
But yeah, I'm high. Obviously, everyone's excited about Benny. Out and left, bringing the stick, bringing that. I mean, the kid's cool as a cucumber, as they say, and that's you got to love the way he carries himself. Man, the team is stocked. I'm interested to see what happens behind the dish. As the season progresses.
Yeah.
I don't know, Mike. I mean, I'm excited across the board. It's hard to pin down one thing. Also, going to be interesting to see how things work out over at the the one bag.
I was just going to get into that. It's interesting because I mean now with Poppy gone, his ridiculous production as a 40-year-old man last year.
40-year-old virgin.
Heyo. He's taking care of that in retirement, I'm sure. You've seen those tennis ads, right?
Yes.
He's just knocking down middle-aged women at the country club.
Literally and figuratively.
So to lose that mammoth production, it's like, wow, where do you go? And you can't really find that on the open market, except maybe once Edwin Encarnacion was gone.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, he went for 3 years at $60 million. I think the Sox could have been in on something like that. 3 years doesn't seem like a lot. $20 million a year, not exorbitant.
Right.
That
went to Cleveland, right?
It went to Cleveland.
Yeah.
Kind of interesting. And they let Napoli, a good clubhouse guy, them just move along. And Napoli's a guy who signed for $8.5 million for a 1-year deal, which is crazy. He had like 35 bombs last year.
That's crazy.
I thought he was going to ink like a 2-year, $30 million deal somewhere.
So did he, probably.
Yeah, exactly. That's crazy. But he goes back to the Rangers. I think the Rangers get a steal on that. The Rangers are going to be a tough team. I really like them in the West. Comes down to them and Houston in the West.
Houston. A lot of young studs there.
But what do you think about the Sox in the division this year? Who's going to be the biggest challenge? Yeah, go ahead.
In the division, on paper, you got to think it's Toronto. Maybe Baltimore. People are, you can never sleep on the Yanks. The young talent sons of bees.
Oh, man.
I hope they get buried, but, I guess let me just name every team in the division. I think Toronto, though, as far as, they still have, even without Encarnacion, they still have a pretty good lineup, and they got some young studs, good rotation. I mean, maybe the most slept-on rotation in the game.
Yep.
And Baltimore, they got some pop. We'll see, though. They don't necessarily have the depth at the rotation. So I think 1A would be Toronto, personally. That's my assessment.
Yeah, I mean, that seems about right. They do have some good guys in the rotation with Strada and, Sanchez off his sick year last year. J.A. Happ had a lot of wins. And the Yankees, man, they really retooled at the deadline last year, and I hate to see it. I mean, I hope they empty out a bunch of those prospects and go after like Quintana, who I don't think is that good, who's kind of like the darling at the ball right now, the belle of the ball. Hello, darling at the ball, and and burn those guys doing that, but because they have like a stock farm system now, it's pretty ridiculous. I do think they're pretty thin in the rotation though.
Yes,
and that especially the back end of that rotation, and
they can be had.
They can be had. So but what I was thinking was going to be a nice cozy 5 years of futility out of the Bronx. It's looking like it's only going to be like 2 years, and it's kind of a bummer. And it was taking me back to my cozy 80s days of Don Mattingly, where they just were awful.
They're in that position where if they overachieve in the first half too, they're stocked enough where they can start making some moves and making some noise. So we'll see. We'll see.
It's true. Oof.
But yeah, I'm definitely in the camp of people hoping that doesn't happen anytime soon, and I wish them nothing but the worst heading into the season.
Of course, I think everybody listening can and tuning in can concur with you on that one.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, I started to talk about it, and then obviously got tangented off as I have a tendency to do. But Poppy, monster. So you look around, you can't fill his shoes, and Encarnacion goes by the board. So what do? You figure, hey, we can't improve on the offensive side. Maybe we can improve on the defensive side. Pluck. We get Mitch Moreland, wins the Gold Glove last year at first.
Good pickup.
Nice pickup. and
Solid bat.
bring him in. Solid bat, lefty. He really needs to. If there's somebody that's got to sit down with David Ortiz, it's one Mr. Mitch Moreland,
Right.
And he's got to start learning how to take that ball the other way, like David learned when he first came to Fenway. That wall is your friend. Go ahead and you're not going to hit. You're going to hit 15 to 20 homers, no big deal, because you got 45 to 50 doubles backing those up. So I'm excited about him. If you can play studly defense over there first, that'd be great to see.
Absolutely.
And that allows Hanram to go in the DH mostly, and I think he's just going to mash as a DH.
You feeling good about that?
I do.
He's definitely one of the X factors of this team's success this year. We need big things out of him. I mean, between those two guys, as you're hitting on, like, we're going to need to get some serious production, and maybe sprinkling a little Panda there. We're going to need some power numbers from those guys, you know?
35 bombs out of Hanram this year.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
That'd be amazing. Yeah. That would be
I
amazing.
mean, he hit 30 last year, right? On 31? 30?
35 would be pretty impressive.
Oh, yeah. He's going to throw in like 5 to 7 more of that muscle that he put on.
Dude,
when he...
Speaking of PEDs, that guy's getting huge.
Woo-hoo, yoked.
Dude's a beast.
But now we're a little dinged up because, like, Moreland is...
He had the flu, I guess, but he's clear to play, I guess, for tomorrow. Right?
But Hanram is a little dinged up. He's not going to be able to play first, so he's just like DH. So now that was going to be like a little platoonage over there,
right?
And so now, like, we might even see like a Josh Rutledge.
And what's up with him? Isn't he dinged up too?
Oh yeah, I think he's dinged up too. So who knows who's going to be playing first?
Oh my goodness!
Hello, dust off Sam Horn. Get him out there. Sam Travis didn't make the 25, so we know it's not going to be him.
Who knows,
so
Michael?
it'd be interesting to see who we see at the first base tomorrow. Lineups are not
Your boy Selsky, maybe.
Quite possibly.
Stevie Selsky. Steve Selsky, bro.
Get there, buddy. So I am excited to see, a little friend of the program, Robbie Scott, back on the making the club this year as a lefty out of the bullpen. I liked his stuff at the end of last year. So, we wish him well and, a long career as a lefty out of the pen for the Sox.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Be effective, baby.
Be effective.
Steve Selsky getting the nod at first tomorrow. Is that the call? I'd love to see it.
I hope not. We shall see. Manhattan Beach is own, I think.
Is he?
He's a local product.
Nice.
We confirm that, and according to ESPN, that's confirmed, sir.
Confirmed.
Yeah, so, I mean, obviously there's a few concerns heading into the season, rather. But you got to be excited, as we tend to be this time of year. Looking for that fourth banner since 04.
New season, baby. New start. It's just fantastic.
I mean, I can't recall a more talented outfield in my lifetime.
And the best defensive outfield in the major leagues.
No big deal.
Okay? I'm just throwing it out there. No big deal.
Our rotation is quite loaded at the top. So
At the top.
yes.
So we are going to, that towards the end is really going to be what's crucial this year.
No question.
And the bullpen.
No
and
question.
it seems like we're kind of saying that in and out. Another guy that I want to see emerge as, he's got skills, he's got talent, he's got like the right frame of mind and everything. I want more consistency out of him this year. Xander Bogaerts.
Zandy boy. Yeah, I thought I read a quotation recently where he was saying he doesn't like... I was reading something about clutch players. This was a Dombrowski article now. It's coming back to me. About his, techniques, etc. And I was reading an article in which they were quoting Bogaerts. I don't know when it was from, but he was basically saying that he does not like pressure situations.
Oh.
Which I thought was I was like, man, did he actually say that?
Bogaerts said that?
That's what I read in an article. Yeah, I mean, seems like a strange thing to verbalize if you're a professional athlete.
Yeah, really?
No, I don't really want to be in that situation.
I mean,
not.
Was that in a Reuben? I mean, was it
know.
lost in translation? Was he really making it say he does like pressure?
I don't know. He seems like he's the coolest kid, on the block. He came up as a young stud and performed under, he's done it under the bright lights. So, who knows, Miguel?
Wow.
Who knows? I thought it was strange, though. Betty Strange. But
That
yeah,
is strange. How did I miss that article?
I'll try to pull it.
Wow.
But yeah, it feels like it's every team and it's every season. But, naturally the rotation depth, that 6th and 7th starter that you're inevitably going to need. And it seems like that inevitability might be closer than we wanted it to be. And your relief core, it's going to be tested. And that seems, the bullpen right now, especially with Thornburg going down, seems like probably the most glaring thing that we got to be worried about.
They seem high on this Ben Taylor kid. I didn't see a lot of spring training,
Right.
but I'm all for somebody emerging. It's like, it's probably about time you get kind of, I guess, begrudgingly they get rid of Koji, but and they get rid of Tazawa. So it's like there's
Right.
2 more slots in there for guys to kind of step up and improve themselves. Kind of the slots that, were taken by the Matt Bonds and the Heath Hembrys the past couple of years. So
Right.
he's the guy I'd like to see step up and maybe be in that 8th inning mix this season.
Absolutely. Yeah, he had some hot streaks there for a while. When he came up last year, he was looking good, and we'll see. We're definitely gonna need him.
What were there? There were some rule changes, wasn't there, this season?
Let me consult with my books.
Yeah,
I don't know.
consult the interwebs.
Sure
But
thing.
man, if Pomeranz turns out like this is going to be a problem, the statute of limitations should not have been expired on us getting Espinosa back.
Right.
That should be a full year.
I think at least a year, maybe a couple of years.
as
soon as he
this
starts performing,
I guess.
what? Man.
I guess all these deals are buyer beware. There's no lemon law in the friggin'
lemon laws.
Major League Baseball.
No
Maybe
lemon
that
laws.
needs to be a rule change for next season.
Could be. Could be.
So they're going with Rick Porcello out of the gate tomorrow. He deserves it. The guy won the Cy Young. What else are you going to do?
Yeah, kind of just
let me get in
even
there.
still under the radar as the the defending Cy Young winner. How do you feel about Ricky's year this year? You feel like he's going to take a step back naturally? Do you feel like it's inevitable? Or
You almost think that, but I'm almost preparing my mind for that, just to kind of just keep the bar low on
Right.
everybody, because after his year last year, it's like that's a pretty high bar. But also maybe this is a situation of him just being at that point in his career. This is a guy that really kind of came up early,
Right.
and kind of had to learn on the fly, and what was probably bewildering to him, like the first 3 or 4 years in the league, is now like kind of pay dividends. And this guy's like a wily veteran, hasn't even turned 30 yet,
right.
So, I'm penciling him in for an ERA in the low 3s, and probably over 15 wins.
Sounds good to me. Sounds good to me.
So,
And what about Sale?
Make it
You
happen.
feeling Cy Young-y?
I don't think Cy Young. That's too much to put on him. But
He's the favorite in the AL according to some. I don't know if it's Vegas odds or what, but
all the best pitchers are in the National League right now. When you think about it, really, like a guy who's he came back last year after surgery, but now the second year back, Yu Darvish, I think, is going to be a guy that's going to be in the mix. And obviously, I'm just all over the Rangers this year.
seems like you are.
know?
Gee whiz,
I got
Mike.
Rougned Odor on my fantasy teams now.
Settle down.
But I had to get him. Once he punched
once
Joey
you lay
Bats
a
in the
man
face,
down in this establishment,
and then like sign a contract, and like the sticking point is a couple horses need to be included in the deal. You just
your
go
kinda
right,
guy.
you jet to the top of my draft boards.
it's your kind of guy.
He's my kind of guy. So very odd starting against the Pirates.
Yeah, it's weird. It's unfamiliar.
Interleague starting right off the bat, pretty crazy. 3 games set.
I have the Bogarts quote. It's not as, it doesn't seem as like disheartening as one would
Give
think.
it to me in a Reuben first if you can.
Negative.
Negative.
Surprisingly, Bogarts feels nervous in clutch situations. It's hard, I'm going to be honest, Bogarts told the Providence Journal. I don't really like those type of situations, but you have to play in them. The fans get going, and it makes me kind of nervous. That's why I asked for a lot of timeouts, just to relax. That's not as bad.
That's cool, man. The guy is honest. He's still pure. That's great. You don't get that out of Americans.
You definitely never got that out of David Ortiz. I'm surprised. I found that a little surprising. But you're right. Hey, whatever. The guy's being honest.
Yeah.
Who doesn't feel nerves in that,
It's true. I mean,
if you ain't nervous, you ain't human.
It's great. I'm just going to, in the risk of showing my ignorance here, as I do every week, but he was on Team Netherlands in the on the World Baseball Classic. Is Aruba a colony of the Netherlands? Or like, what was mom from the Netherlands? Like, what? I mean,
he's been on that team before, yeah?
I would guess so. Unless he just has like triple citizenship around, he just bops around from each World Baseball Classic
to
World
works.
Baseball Classic.
I know they speak Dutch, right? There's some weird. I don't know these things, Mike. Let's not embarrass ourselves.
Maybe our
fantasy stats guru.
Yeah, fantasy stats guru. Get us back to that.
Geography stats guru.
Hit us up in the comments section, the YouTube page, or the AfterBuzz page, and let us know the answer to that. Clued in. So the rotation as it looks now is Porcello, and then lefty, Sale, Erod, then Stephen Wright having the dancing knuckle bear coming back. You gotta love that. And then I guess coming back with Porcello.
Fair enough.
And then Pomeranz. Oh, that's what they can see, because with the day off Tuesday, they can push them back that one other day, so that's what they're doing. So
Aruba is a Dutch island off the coast of Venezuela. It's it's part of. It's like the Dutch. There's like the British Isles.
Yeah.
So that Aruba is part of the Kingdom of the Netherlands.
Wow, I totally didn't know where Aruba was. I thought that was somewhere else.
Aruba. I only know about it from that cool smash hit from.
Are you throwing around those schools again?
Full circle.
Oh boy.
Full circle.
What's your feelings on Sandy Leon this year? I mean, does he keep propelling forward?
One of your faves.
I mean, my fave's Christian Vasquez, so I'm thinking he's going to be overtaken.
I think he's going to be overtaken as well. I wouldn't be. I mean, I'd be surprised if he continues to play like Ted Williams in clips. And I wouldn't be surprised to see what's his knuckle come up from Pawtucket.
Blake Swihart,
yeah. Even though he had a little bout with the yips there for a minute, I think they made a mistake putting him in the outfield.
They probably did in hindsight.
Yes,
but they were just grasping at anybody that could hit out there.
But you gotta like that kid too. He's come up and done his thing at times. So I think Sandy's gonna, he's gonna take a back seat to Vasquez. I mean, especially. The kid, defensively, the kid is ridiculous. Although old Sandy, little future trivia down the line, someday we might be at a bar and we'll have to know that Sandy Leon hit home runs from both sides of the plate in the same inning in that one preseason game here.
Did he?
Yeah. He hit
earlier
in one
this
inning,
season?
just like a week ago.
Oh, man, I missed that.
He hit bombs from both sides of the plate in one inning.
That's like Fernando Tatis.
That is ridiculous,
man.
Holy
cow, that is ridiculous.
It is completely ridiculous, man.
Pretty crazy.
Who else? How about Petey? How are you feeling about Petey's season?
I'm so stoked about Petey this year. If he can stay healthy, and they have guys like Marco Hernandez. Did he even make the club?
No,
that's insane.
Pawtucket,
He had a great spring.
Yeah.
Maybe once they get all that ironed out with guys playing first and not just throwing whoever can get in there. But I mean. He had a great spring, and he can be that kind of utility guy, especially if he's going to hit. Because he's like right now you have Rutledge as that utility guy, and he's really not a plus glove guy.
Right.
Rutledge, he's more of a bat.
Right.
So it's going to be interesting to see how that shakes out.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's off. Yeah, but are you telling me wrap up? I got you. Remember how we're in there next, so we're gonna wrap it up here in 3 and 4. Thanks, guys. So what? I mean, we really can wrap it up right now. To be honest, any closing thoughts? You just got out of the studio with the band. What's the story? You guys got the second album cooking right now?
The second album.
Yes.
Yes, The North. We're recording a 10 to 12 song album, an LP.
And when can we expect this to drop?
Well, we're hoping about July or so. So it's gonna, we're in the early stages of starting to track drums and guitars, and it's exciting.
I love that. And find out more about The North, you go to thenorthla.com?
That is correct, yeah. We're all over social media at The North LA.
I love that. And what's your Twitter handle again?
It's at Deehas, Deehas.
Yeah, so hit up the D-House, ask him about the North, ask him about the Red Sox.
Yes.
Tell him how horrible a job we did this week on the show. Hit us in the comments section. We love it. But we're here every Sunday night, gang. Like I say, a little bit after 10 p.m. Eastern Time. For Denny Harris, I'm Mike Conley. This has been another edition of Red Sox Rap 360. Go Sox. Happy birthday, Al Nipper.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.